So in today's video, we're going to be looking at lake balls versus new balls. So I've been out golf ball hunting with my son and I've found some of the dirtiest lake balls that you can possibly find. But I'm not going to be cleaning them today, but I really want to compare. Because I'm going to save a bit of money this summer, should I be investing in lake balls or should I just stick with new balls? So I've got 4 different types of golf balls. I've got the TaylorMade RBZ Soft, and I've got a lake ball version of that. And then I've got the Srixon AD 333, and I've got a lake ball version of that. I've then got the really popular Callaway Warbird, and then I've got the equivalent in a lake ball, which is not too bad. And then I've got a Callaway Super Soft, which I found at the bottom of a pond. And then I've got a Callaway Super Soft, which I have previously cut open, and we're going to compare. So with the help of Jeff, my cutting tool, we're going to look at each of these golf balls, and we're going to see what the brand new golf ball or the new golf ball looks like compared to the lake ball on the inside. I'm even going to weigh them with my weighing scales, because I know in a previous video you said it's not a scientific experiment if you don't weigh them. So I'm going to be weighing them, and we're going to see what these lake balls look like on the inside and whether you can actually invest in lake balls this summer and save a bit of cash, because they're only going to go back in the water. So I think we're going to have to start with the dirtiest golf ball that I could possibly find in my collection. You might not be able to see, but this is the TaylorMade RBZ. What do you say? I'm from the UK, but I like the sound of RBZ. So this is the RBZ Soft, and it is under there a TaylorMade golf ball. Now, in a previous video, I might have mentioned that that looks like rust. Now, I'm not going to call this rust because I triggered a few Karens in the comments, because plastic can't rust. Well, I know it can't, but how else are you meant to describe what this looks like? I mean, come on, guys. That looks like rust. So let's get on with it. But this is the new, or the new-ish, RBZ Soft TaylorMade. And look, they're worlds apart. Now this was found at the bottom of a pond. So first of all, why don't we get the weighing scale and see if there's any difference in the weight of these golf balls. Right, so let's weigh the new one first of all. Be helpful if it's turned on. Right, you can see that, 46 grams. Let's get the lake ball. That's got away a bit more of all that grime on the outside. Okay, so that's 46 grams as well. So that's the first part of this test done. So there is no additional weight through it being maybe absorbing water or picking up grime on the outside. So let's start with looking at what the lake version looks like on the inside with the help of Jeff, my cutting tool. Right, here we go. Okay, now you know I like the colours of these golf balls. That's a lovely green. But there you go. So that's what the inside of the new TaylorMade golf ball looks like. So yeah, that's pretty consistent. No issues there that I can see. Now we're going to compare that to the grimy lake ball. Let's get Jeff again. All right, we're going to cut right across that really dirty part there. Definitely harder to cut. Okay, are we ready? Okay, so it is actually a different batch then, because it's got a different inside, but that is almost perfect on the inside. Now, looks a bit dirty there, but I just think that's where the blade went through the golf ball. So then when we compare, obviously they are from different batches, so they've got different insides, but there doesn't look to be any major difference on the inside of that golf ball. So there was no weight difference, there's no internal difference. So if you've got a way of cleaning that golf ball up, then perhaps that one's pretty good to use. So the TaylorMade, I think TaylorMade passes the test. So the next ball on the list is the Callaway, and this is the Callaway Super Soft. It's the most popular golf ball on Amazon. So I know loads of you out there will have used this ball, and I'm sure a few of you will have actually put this ball in the water for me to pick up. So thank you very much. But that looks pretty bad, doesn't it? And again, I know it's not rust, but it is really grimy. And that was sitting in a pond. It was like sludge, and it was buried halfway up. My son and I had to dig them out, and that was probably as clean as I can get it after pressure washing it. I'll put a link in the video of me trying to clean these golf balls. But how would that compare to the Callaway Super Soft that I actually bought from my local club? You can see straight away, yeah, the outside is pretty manky. Now I cut this open in a previous video, so this is what the inside of the Callaway Super Soft should look like, the most recent version. And you can see, nice and blue, no issues. Definitely no core consistency issues with this one, because I've had a few in the past. But let's see what the Callaway Super Soft looks like on the inside with the help of Jeff. Right, here we go. Okay, I mean, again, that looks pretty good. So yep, so you can see there, so that the outside is really dirty, but on the inside there's no actual problem with the inner core. It doesn't look like, even on the mantle, that there's no discoloration on the inside of that outer core either. So I would say that's pretty good. So the only thing we didn't do is I didn't actually weigh these golf balls, so they'll still weigh well. They'll still weigh cut in half. So let's turn it on. Let's pop the old lake ball. Okay, so that's weighing 45 grams. And then let's weigh the next one. And then that's 45 as well. So there we go. So the weight of these two golf balls is exactly the same. So I would say, if you can clean it up again, get some decent cleaning tools, then the Callaway in a lake version passes the test too. So next on the list is a Callaway, and this is the Callaway Warbird that I found at my local club. You can even see the logo of the golf club on the outside. And then I've got a brand new version that I did actually buy in a sleeve from my local club, and it's got the golf course logo on the outside. So these should be pretty identical, and there should be no real reason why there's any difference to these two golf balls on the inside, except if there's water damage on the Callaway Warbird. Now the Callaway Warbird is one of the most popular golf balls as well, perfect for extra distance. It's quite a firm compression golf ball. But how does it stand when we weigh it on the weighing scales first of all? Okay, so 46 grams. Let's get the new Callaway Warbird. And 46 grams as well. So they passed the weight test, so there's no issues with the Callaway Warbird maybe taking extra weight on. So let's see what they look like on the inside. So let's start with the new Callaway Warbird. Okay, so there we go. That's a lovely green opal colour there. So you can see on the inside then, so that's obviously as it should be, no issues, nice and clean cut on there. The outer layer looks really good, two-piece ball, and that's the brand new ball, the Callaway Warbird, which I would expect to see. And then how's it going to compare to the lake ball version? Okay, so they are actually different batches as well, so maybe different manufacturing plants. So is there any issue on the inside of that golf ball? Well, I can't see any lake version. I can't see any lake impact. I don't think that core is completely central. That's probably the only issue I can see, where it looks a bit thick around this side and slightly thinner on the other side. Now I have had issues with Callaway golf balls in the past when I've cut them open and the core has been slightly out of line. That's got to affect your golf shot, I think, but from the looks of it, there doesn't seem to be any issues with the Callaway Warbird, apart from the outer layer not looking too central. But if you wanted to use a Callaway Warbird in a lake ball version, then that probably passes the test too. And then the final ball on the test today is the Srixon AD 333. Great two-piece distance ball. This one looks pretty manky, and again I found it in the same swamp. I haven't cleaned it up at all. I just wanted to see what it looked like on the inside. So I'm going to compare that to a new Srixon AD 333. I have used this one on the course, as you can see, and that's probably where I hit a tree. But when we compare them on the inside, we're going to see if there's any difference. Let's weigh the Srixon golf ball. Okay, so we've got 46 there. And then let's weigh the lake ball version. And that's 46 too. Okay, so no issues with the weight of these two golf balls. So let's start with the new Srixon AD 333.
Right, okay.
Okay, so again, it's a two-piece ball, as I said. And wow, that outer layer does look even worse than a Callaway. Can you see that? Let me make sure I can get that clearly. So I think it's thinner there than it is around here. And that's meant to be, that's a new ball. There's no issues with that. I've not seen issues with the Srixon golf balls before, but yeah, that might be one to watch out for if you're thinking of buying a Srixon AD 333. It might be an issue to consider. And then let's get hold of the Lake ball and see what the inside of that looks like too.
Here we go.
Okay, so again, almost perfect on the inside. No issues there at all. It is a different colour to the newer version, but is there any issue with the discoloration on the inside of the core? It all seems to be pretty much intact. The inside of that ball is pretty much perfect. If you can get the outside clean, then the Srixon passes the test too. So I think that solves the question once and for all that Lake balls are actually okay. So if you can clean that ball, these are probably okay to use on the course. The next test for me is to glue them together and then take them onto TrackMan to see how they perform. So be sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.